Welcome back to Forgotten Hollywood. So, it is February, month known for romances, and I decided I was going to watch a romance that I had never seen before. And not only did I find one I had never seen before, I found one where most of the cast I hadn't even seen before. I watched How to Marry a Millionaire, released in 1953, starring Marilyn Monroe, Betty Grable, and Lauren Bacall. Okay, so it might surprise some of you that I had never seen a Betty Grable movie. I've never seen a Marilyn Monroe movie. I have seen Lauren Bacall at least once. Yeah. So I was really excited to see this movie because I have, of course, heard of these actresses. I know who they are, technically, but I hadn't actually seen them. So I didn't really know what to expect going into this movie. But I was not disappointed. It was fantastic. And I found it really interesting because it was like a get-rich-quick scheme with a plot twist. The movie follows these three models who have decided that in order to secure their future, they are going to marry rich men. They don't care who, they don't care when, where, whatever. They just know that if they can marry rich men, they'll be happy and they'll be set for life. That's their theory. The leader of the group is Shotzi, who is played by Lauren Bacall. She's kind of the brains of the group if you look at a power trio. She's the one who comes up with the idea. She's the one who sets everything in motion. She's the one who makes sure that they have money. And she meets this wealthy man, widower, lonely, perfect. If only she could stop this one guy who has a crush on her from coming around. She is not interested because he doesn't wear a tie. Girls gotta have standards. So Shotzi's an interesting character because she is a strong female, but she also has this serious flaw where she bases everything on appearance. Like the guy who's not wearing a tie. She says, well, I can't be with him. He's not classy enough. He doesn't have a tie on. She doesn't know anything about him. She doesn't know anything about how much money he has or what he does for a living. She assumes, based on the lack of tie, that he works at a gas station. Because she knew another guy who didn't wear a tie who worked at a gas station. Like I said, everything on appearance. And she has to get past that as the movie progresses. But even with her being this strong personality, she's not off-putting. She's still someone that you like and that you want to see happy in the end of the movie. And then next we have Paula, who is played by Marilyn Monroe. In the power trio structure, she's kind of the heart of the group. She brings them together, so to speak. Of course, literally, she actually brought in the third member of the group because she knew someone who would be able to help them. And she's very endearing. She's a very sweet person. But she has this one major flaw, just like Shotzi, except hers is more physical. She's blind as a bat. Except she doesn't like wearing glasses because she thinks that men do not find women who wear glasses attractive.
Look.
Yes.
Didn't you bring your glasses?
What glasses?
Don't you wear glasses?
Oh, damn me, no. Whatever gives you that idea?
You've got the most peculiar vision I ever saw.
Why do you say that?
Because you're reading that book upside down.
Which is kind of silly to think, Marilyn Monroe puts on glasses and suddenly she's not attractive. Yeah, glasses don't do that much to people. So this leads to a lot of physical humor of her walking into things and such because she can't see. I loved her. She was my favorite person in the movie. And her storyline is very sweet, very cute. But really, she finds love when she learns to love who she is and to embrace her weakness. And last we come to Loco, or called Loki by her friends. She's played by Betty Grable. And this is kind of where the power trio falls apart because that would be the strength of the group, and she's more of the naive con artist of the group. She's very good at getting people to help her, but she is also very naive about the world and who people are and the kinds of people they are. So she ends up in some interesting situations. She is invited to go to a lodge with a married man. she thinks lodge means Elks Lodge, a bunch of guys who get together and, have meetings and parties and stuff. So she thinks, oh, if I go with him, I can meet a single man. The married man was thinking, I'm going to take this really beautiful young woman up to my cabin in the woods and spend the weekend with her. It doesn't go as he planned because Loki has standards. And part of those standards is not hooking up with a married man. One of the main things in the movie is appearances can be deceiving. Loki looks totally brainless, but she actually is quite intelligent on at least some level, even if she doesn't really understand things about the world in general. Another thing when you go to Pola is beauty is in the eye of the beholder. She doesn't think she's beautiful if she puts on her glasses until she realizes that the glasses are part of her. For Shotzi, she learned money isn't everything. Because she thinks she wants to be with a guy because he's rich. But she doesn't really love him. And so she has to choose between, do I go with this guy who is going to take care of me? He will set me up for life. I will be fine. I just don't love him. Or do I go with this other guy who she believes works at a gas station. And she doesn't know if she will be set for a week with him. But he's so endearing to her. And so she has to really weigh her options, and she has to take money out of the equation for her to make her decision of what she's going to do. In short, I loved my first time around with Marilyn and Betty, and it was so nice to see Lauren Bacall again. I was actually most excited to see that David Wayne was in the movie, and though his part was relatively small, he was the actor that I had the most experience with his other roles. But, the cast overall just had great chemistry. The settings fit well with the characters. It was very deliberate where they put what characters when and where they were in their story arc. It just, everything about the movie flowed. I don't think I've ever talked about the settings being so critical for the movie, but they worked, they fit, and the characters just worked and fit together, and it was just so well crafted. And I can't wait to see what else my ventures into my month of romance brings me. I'm very excited to see what comes next. Thanks for watching. What are your favorite movies with Marilyn, Betty, or Lauren? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Click the bell for notifications, and I will catch up with you next time.